Hi, welcome to Silver Bunny Stitches. I'm Jenny. Hello to anybody that's new and welcome back to anybody who's watched me before. This is my channel, which is all about the cross stitching that I'm doing. I've got fully finished projects today. I've got finishes. I've got new starts. So yeah, lots of things to show you all. I'll start off with my fully finished objects. There are not usually very many of them that happen around here, so I'm quite excited about this. And the first one is my Be So Awesome People Think You're a Myth by Stitch Rovia. It's stitched on count 14 on like an opal iridescent, you probably can't see, but sparkly fabric in all the call for DMCs. I finished it just with cardboard backing. Is it mounting card that they call it, and it comes on a little easel which I had to put together myself, so I was quite impressed with how it's turned out. So yeah, I'm not sure exactly where it's going to go, but yeah, so that's good. I really enjoyed stitching that one. It was really fun, and I can't wait to do some more of Stitch Rovia's designs. The next fully finished object is this little fella. My husband went to the local shop and brought me back, I think it was a World of Cross Stitching, and he was the freebie on it, so I've made him up into this gorgeous little card. But I'm wondering whether I might actually display him because he's really cute. He was really fun to stitch. Again, everything was in the pack, so it was really easy to do. And the next fully finished object, or not fully finished object, is this one, Night Flying by Doreen Jones on a mystery fabric. I know I got it from it was either Lakeside Needlecraft or Willow Fabrics. I can't remember which one now. It was ages ago I got it. So yeah, that's all completely finished. Again, this was another one that I really enjoyed working on. I like working in bright colours. Yeah, it's a fun stitch. Again, it was all the call for DMCs. I was trying to convert it to anchor, but not all the colour. Not all the colours. What's the word I'm looking for? Didn't all transfer across very well, and the colours weren't coming up as they should have been on the picture, so I got DMCs for it. I'm going to put this one in a picture frame at some point, and I'll take it to my local needle shop because they do finishing up service. And the last finish, yep, I have 4 of them, is this. Ooh. I need to put some fabric on the back to make it into a fully finished object, probably felt. But it was a Mill Hill kit, so everything was included, including the paper, and I'm going to send it to a friend who's out in South Africa because we were doing an ornament swap at Christmas, and I accidentally sent her just a card. I totally forgot that I was in the ornament exchange and not the card exchange, so I've done that now, so I'm going to send it out till probably next week. In terms of my main projects that I've been working on, my whips don't have as much progress as usual. The reason for this is the last sort of 2 weeks I've been suffering from sciatica, so I can't necessarily always hold the hoop that's got a lot of fabric on because it exacerbates the sciatica and the pain. So some of them haven't had much progress. That's why I've done sort of some small mini projects, because I could do them without it hurting me, or if I have to lie down on the sofa at night, I obviously can't use my frame, or I can't hold a big hoop. So yeah, hopefully it'll only last a couple of weeks, but yeah, it is what it is. So I have a couple of new starts because of that, because I couldn't hold my large projects. I decided to do some small ones. So the first one I've been working on is, I'm not been doing all of it, I'm just doing the snowman here. and that's by Jenny Barton, and it was in an episode of Cross Stitch Favourites, but I don't know the episode because I tend to just pull out the designs that I want and then recycle the rest of the magazine, or pass it along to somebody else. I just don't have the space to store too many things. So I'm just doing this on Count 14 Ada, which was just in my stash. You see it's just an offcut from something that I've done previously, and I tend to save them and use them for cards. So I'm not quite doing as it said in the pattern, because in the pattern the whole of the background is stitched. I'm not doing that. Neither am I going to stitch the white in the snowman. I think the grey is a little bit too dark, but I think it's the lightest one that I've got. So I don't think I can do much about that. But he is going to be a Christmas card, so he doesn't have to be perfect. He just has to be a snowman. So yeah, I'm having fun doing him. Probably finished in the next few days. The next one that I brought to do, I think I've forgotten my picture. Oh no, it's in here. I think I mentioned in my last video that my best friend is going off around the world again. It's her second time. My joke is that she didn't get to see it all the first time, so she must be going a second time. I'm not at all bitter. I have a 5-year-old, so there will be no round the world trips for me. We laugh vicariously that she lives through, you know, I live through her and her going away and kind of exploring the globe and stuff, and she doesn't have any children, so she says exactly the opposite, that she lives parenthood through me. So anyway, the design that I've chosen to do for her is called Alpaca Field, and it's by The Happy Stitchery, and I found it on Etsy. And my best friend, when she went travelling last time, about 10 years ago, she worked in Australia for a few months on an alpaca ranch. So she absolutely loves alpacas. And I thought, what better than this pattern? Because the alpaca is going on a journey, just like my friend will. So this is Ellie the alpaca. And I am almost finished Ellie the alpaca. I forgot to take it off my hoop, so I'll just take it off. And I was hoping I'd have it finished for today, but I'm not quite there. So here is Ellie the alpaca. So all I have left to do is to finish off this here and do another stalk of corn down here. But again, I really enjoyed this one because there's loads of bright colours, and it was a nice easy pattern to follow. No back stitching, no half stitches. So I should have that finished later today, really. And then I'm going to have it made up in a frame for her. But because of the travel restrictions and COVID that's still in place, I probably won't get to see her till probably June, July, August, because she lives in Colchester, which is about 4 hours drive from me in York. So I don't get to see her very much. But yeah, I'm hoping that she'll really enjoy him because he's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. Oh, she's gorgeous because I've called her Ellie. Yeah. And she is just done on a piece of cream 14 count Ada, which was, got it from Hobbycraft. Not been massively impressed with the quality of it, so I don't think I'll be buying any more from there. And it's not in all the DMCs. It's in a mixture of Anchor and DMC, because I thought I'd use up some of my Anchor threads, because previously I was using Anchor and then all the patterns seemed to be in DMC and I was having to do conversions all the time, and then the colours weren't matching, so I just decided that I'd transfer over onto DMC. So I'm just using up my Anchor on like small projects. So that is that. And then there are a few projects that I worked at before I got my sciatica. One of these was my Lord of the Rings pattern, Fellowship of the Rings, where they're all travelling from Rivendell over to Moria. And let's just start way up. That's how far I've got now. So I've started infilling some of the sort of the kind of blended colours along here, and I've just about got down to the tips of the mountains. So yeah, I've put some work in on this, but not a huge amount. It's on gridded fabric. It's my first full coverage project I think that I've done, and it's count 16 I think I went for, and it's in all the Call for DMCs again. And then I worked on my Kings and Queens project that I spoke about last time, and I think last time I'd got I actually made quite a bit of progress on this. Let's get the fabric so it's manageable. That'll have to do. Yeah, so that's how far I've got now. I think last time I'd done Henry the 8th, Henry the 7th, and then I did a bit of Richard the 2nd, and now I've got on quite far. But this project I can't really work on at all with my back. It's really heavy when you've got sciatica to hold this, plus the hoop. So this one probably won't getting any attention until I'm feeling better, which is hopefully just for a few weeks or so. So that's that one. Again, it's on all the provided for threads and all the provided fabric, which is count 14. And then I've got 2 more that I've worked on. The next one is my Mickey Mouse. Yeah, I actually put in the picture of what he's going to look like. I found it in the drawer. So that's how he's going to look when he's totally finished. This is for my son for his bedroom. And last time, flip this over. Last time I think I've got about this far, and I've done a tiny bit of his arm, but I've done a lot of his arm, his hand, but I've done a lot more of his hand now. You can't really see it because it's all white. But yeah, it's about halfway there, his hand. It's not a stitch that I enjoy working on, so I do have to drag it out every now and again. Mind you, it's not particularly heavy project, so I can probably work on that one. And then the last one that I've made any progress on is my Harry Potter stitch along, which everybody is pretty much finished now. They're on to Magical Kingdoms and I'm still on Harry Potter. Oh, I don't know if you can hear that. That's my little dog. I'll just go in that room. To see everybody. This is Tess, and Tess is a Cavalier King Charles Spaniel, and she is nearly 10 years old, aren't you, girl? So she's my baby and I love her. Yes, so she's my stitching companion. She loves lying on my lap while I'm stitching, and pretty much from like day one when we got her, because we got her when she was about 12 weeks, she's just used to having like patterns plunked on her head or Ada plunked on her. But yeah, she's a cutie. But she's almost totally deaf now, so yeah, bless her. But yes, so yes, that's where I've got to. So I haven't made a massive amount of project, but I have added in this bit here, and this one's the 2nd year and it's Quidditch, and I decided to make my own bit of pattern for that one. I've never really designed a pattern before, but I've got 2 broomsticks that are going to be crossed over. One which is like a really fancy broomstick, which is going to represent Harry's firebolt, and the other one which is a bit more of a dilapidated broom, which I thought could be more like what Ron would have ridden originally. Yeah, so I've still got plenty to do on that, I can't remember the name of the fabric. It might have been Jurassic Sands. And I think it's count 16 that I went for that. So that's all the projects I've done and all the projects that I've worked on. As I say, I'm not expecting most of them to have much progress on by the next time I speak to you, just because of my back. But I might use that as an opportunity to force myself to work on Mickey Mouse. It is the pattern that my son chose, so it's not something I'd stitch on myself, but as it's for him, I'll get some progress on that. I have a tiny, tiny, tiny amount of haul. I've got some fabric. Obviously, fabric is becoming quite hard to find at the moment. This is Zweigart 18 count. Haven't done anything on 18 count for ages. So I thought I'd experiment and use some of that. I don't know what I'm going to use it on, but when I went to my local needle workshop, they had so much Aida. And you can buy it online. They're the Viking Loom based in York. So if anybody's looking for fabric, they don't do beautiful colours. It's more sort of like your raw Aida colours, your creams, your whites, your opals and iridescents. And they do some colours, but they're like entire colours. So you might get like green or red or blue, but they don't do any hand dyeing or anything like that. So yeah, they're one that you could look at if you, because they do have an online store. Yeah, it was good to get back to my local needle workshop. I was actually the first person to go in. So, because I'd waited till about 10:15 because I thought, oh, well, you know, I'll let the initial rush kind of all the crafters dying down. But yeah, no, I was the only person that that turned up that day so far. That, and I was going to go and get an editing software so that I could do some more like fancy stuff on my YouTubes. And I went to Curry's PC World, which is about 5 minutes away from me, but the queue waiting to get in was literally around the corner and down the street, and I was like, nope. I suffer from chronic pain, especially with sciatica, and I was like, I'm not standing in a queue. So hopefully I might do that next month, because everything has reopened up here in the UK. Well, not everything, but the shops have all reopened up in the UK. But obviously it's really busy at the moment because people haven't been able to go out for months, so everyone's kind of rushing to get out to the shops again. Yeah, so I think that's everything. Not really much going on in my life. You know, we have been out slightly. We've been to play crazy golf with my son. We've taken him to a local stately hall that he likes going to. But the weather has just not been great. It's been very cold. And the last thing I want to do when I've got back problems is to go and sit out in the cold, because I can't move around much, so I have to shiver on a bench. So hopefully in the next week or two, I mean, it's nice today, it's really nice out there, so hopefully we'll be able to start getting out a bit and doing some things. But and everyone's really busy at the moment because obviously everybody's kind of been contained for so long and then released. Yeah, so I've got my second injection in a couple of weeks for the COVID vaccine, so that'll be good. It's not 100%, well, it's not 100% no anybody, but it's less effective in those who are immunocompromised like me. So I'm not quite sure how protected I am. I think they're still doing studies into seeing people who've got a suppressed immune systems. But at least I'm protected. That's the main thing. Hopefully if I did catch anything, I wouldn't be hospitalised or potentially worse. But yeah, so hopefully life is starting to return to normal. My holiday plans for going to Scotland are still kind of on track. Haven't been derailed yet. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. It's been a long time. Right, well, everybody stay safe, take care, and I will probably speak to you all in a few weeks. So bye.